A backhoe is idling in my driveway at 7 in the morning, and a woman in pearls and a cream pantsuit is standing out front like she's Patton about to storm Normandy. She's pointing right past my mailbox and hissing, "Remove the cow bath," through her teeth, like she thinks the only thing standing between Maple Key and total anarchy is my backyard livestock trough. I kid you not, the bucket on that machine starts to lurch toward my so-called decor crime, which at this point is basically a makeshift oasis, ringed with fairy lights, red geraniums, and a wooden sign I painted to say, "Rustic Hydrological Feature." You want to talk high drama before 8 a.m. I'm standing there sipping coffee from my favorite mug and waving down two guys with clipboards before they can turn my summer into a demolition zone. I keep my voice cool. You might want to read the permits before you dent my decor. The foreman gives me the kind of look you save for a tax audit, takes my folder and starts flipping through. Page 1, frown. Page 2, deep sigh. Next thing you know, he's telling the backhoe driver to kill the engine. Pearl woman, her name is Connie Delrose, by the way, starts vibrating like a dryer with one bad leg. If you've ever lived in an HOA, you know the type. I'm Milo Carr, by the way. Your average software hermit tucked away on lot 23 of Maple Key, a cul-de-sac, where even the squirrels seem HOA compliant, every grass blade at regulation height, every mailbox a uniform black. My hobbies: minding my own business, writing code, and not keeling over during these apocalyptic heat waves. But Connie's the real boss here. HOA president, 6 years running a voice like a dial tone trapped in a blender, and eyes that can spot a dandelion from space. She's notorious for taping up violation notices with corners so sharp you'd think she was issuing origami threats. She's never smiled at a single barbecue. And last month, when we were melting under a 105-degree or heat wave, she banned my little inflatable pool, calling it unsightly aquatic frivolity and a mosquito magnet. Fine. I returned the pool, no fuss, and bought a galvanized steel stock tank. Yeah, a literal cow trough, because nothing says frontier luxury like being able to cool off after a long day of debugging code. The moment she spotted it through her binoculars, not exaggerating, she declared war. Violation. Notice number 1, unauthorized water feature, triple exclamation point stuck to my front door at 6:30 a.m. Violation 2, 3 days later, laminated for the ages. Livestock implication: no farm animals allowed per covenant. 12.4 subsection B. That one almost made me spit out my coffee. My favorite, the one on expensive HOA letterhead accusing my shiny new trough of reflective nuisance blinding neighbors at dusk. Connie started photographing my backyard through the fence telephoto lens and all playing private investigator. She even posted on Nextdoor cow trough spotted at 23 Maple Key. Possible hoarder. Please advise. That got her 3 likes and 2 laughing emojis, including one from my neighbor Dave, who thought it was hilarious. You'd think she'd let it go, but she ramped it up drive-bys with a measuring tape, threats about illegal pond depth, which isn't even a real thing. Even mailing me an invoice for a decor conformity review fee, $275 in cash, which was almost impressive in its creativity. I ignored the emails, kept my trough sparkling, and made sure everything stayed legal. Her big move Tuesday morning in late July, she shows up with 2 board members sweating through their polos, a backhoe she rented for $800 of HOA money, a water pump meant for draining actual lakes, and a stack of pre-signed fines in purple ink with my name already filled in. She's ready to drain the hazard, shouting for the neighbors to hear and aiming her rented pump right at the storm drain. She steps in it literally and legally. Cream pants get a nice splash, and the pump sputters and dies. That's when I open my folder, 2 weeks in the making. Calm as can be, I quote, city ordinance. Stormwater and gray water can't enter the public right-of-way without a diversion plan. Oh, and my trough. Not filled from the tap. It's connected to a legal rain barrel, screened lid for the bugs, chlorine tabs within code, childproof latch, gray water overflow with mulch basin, the works. Stamped and approved with permits right here in my folder. Connie laughs in my face. But the clipboard guys step forward, one from code compliance, one from stormwater responding to a formal complaint I filed last week about an HOA president planning to dump chlorinated water onto public property without permits. Their eyebrows shoot up in perfect sync. And suddenly the questions start. Turns out Connie never got a permit for the brand new heritage fountain she'd had installed at the front of the neighborhood. It was slurping up 800 gallons a day during drought restrictions. They ask about water usage, weird electrical hookups, and why the fountain's missing its required safety cutoff. Sandra, the stormwater officer, bless her, walks a slow lap around my backyard, checks my chemistry snaps, photos, admires my mosquito screens, and quietly writes up Connie's crew for attempted illicit discharge and unpermitted equipment, use a $500 fine and a slap on the wrist that's gonna sting. The backhoe driver makes himself scarce, slinking off like he's late for church, and Connie's left standing in my driveway with nothing but a limp hose and a crowd of witnesses. 3 days later, we've got a packed emergency HOA meeting, barely 48 hours notice. But the community center's jammed, people standing in the back, still in work shirts and scrubs. Everybody's hot under the collar about monthly drought fines, $50 per house, while that fountain ran nonstop like a Vegas hotel lobby. Morris, our soft-spoken treasurer, pulls up the books, projects them on the wall, and boy, does it get quiet. Connie's decor conformity review fees going into a little side account she controlled alone. Civic ambience fund, she called it. The room is silent. Nobody's breathing. Meanwhile, the city has fined the fountain daily $500 until it's permitted, safe and monitored. Insurance gets involved, audits the HOA, and jacks premiums up 40% after reviewing doorbell camera footage of Connie's backhoe show 6 different angles, including one where she's clearly directing the driver onto my property. I stand up, present my rain harvesting approval, my permits, and security footage of Connie leaning over my fence with a pump. Trespassing, attempted property damage, all there in high def. When the mic comes to Connie, her hands are shaking. She tries to play it down. It's a pool. It's just a pool. Sandra from Stormwater shakes her head, slow and deliberate. It's a stock tank, she reads from my file, classified as a planter bed water feature, compliant with all codes and best practices. She lets that hang in the air a second, and then someone starts clapping in the back row. Dave yells out, "Long live the cow bath," and the whole room just loses it, clapping and laughing. Connie Delrose, removed as president 32-3. Her only supporters resign on the spot. The city slaps her with $1, $200 in personal fines for unlawful dumping and trespassing, payable in 30 days or off to collections. Another $800 for the fountain, $2,000 in drought penalties. $4,000 just like that. And she's ordered to do 80 hours of community service installing mosquito dunks at her own now drained fountain, the jewel of the neighborhood. Plus the HOAs coming after her for the $800 backhoe rental legal fees and those brand new insurance hikes. Her face cycles from red to white to purple as Morris reads off the votes. She stands up, bumping the table, pearls rattling, opens her mouth twice. Nothing comes out, and then she manages barely above a whisper. "This is not over. This cannot be over." But her voice cracks and her eyes are shining with tears she refuses to let fall. You know, sometimes all it takes to take down a tyrant is a little patience, a good permit, and the world's most photogenic cow trough. Now here's what I want to know was, I wrong for fighting back the way I did or does standing up to petty power trips make you the hero in your own backyard? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Share your own HOA horror stories. Tell me if you've ever tangled with a neighborhood dictator, and hit subscribe if you believe no one should ever be fined for trying to stay cool.